Well, good evening, everyone, and welcome to the podcast. We're doing yet another Sunday edition live in color, no less. And we have our good friends here on the big screen. We've got from left to right Rich, Thom, and his son Eric. And then in the lower right, we have Keith Bewick. How are we all doing tonight?
Very good, thank you.
Very good, thank you. Thanks for having us, Mike.
Oh, sure thing, sure thing. And the reason we're all here tonight, if you were here just after Christmas, we were here to talk up an event that was going to be happening. It was a memorial event for Matt Bewick. And that event has happened. We're here to talk about how it went. We've got video clips. And Matt's father, Keith, is here in the lower right. It's going to be a good evening, I believe. But any comments, Keith? Or
To be honest with you, I just really want to say thank you to Northshore Vintage Sleds and everybody from the vintage sled community. You know, I never knew that this existed, and everybody is very welcoming and supportive. So I just want to say thank you.
You're welcome. Very well, problem. Thank you.
Sure thing. And I have to say, too, just as a kind of a wholesale thing, the vintage snowmobile community is one of the friendlier, more loving communities you'll ever meet, on a wholesale level. And we've got comments that are coming in. Let's take a look here. We've got our good friend James Whiteside saying hello. Nice to see you, James. Also, Jeffrey Patton saying good evening. So we've got people in the house taking a look at us. And also our good friend who was on last week, Alan Gove, regular viewer. Good evening from Enfield, New Hampshire. Oh, and here we go. Comments are rolling right in here. Kenneth Crozier says, long time no see to Eric and Thom.
He was an Argyle.
Nice. So let's get right into it. We do have clips from that memorial event. I chopped it up into 3 pieces just to kind of make it a little more manageable. And these clips come from Eric's YouTube channel. Eric's the gentleman on the right on the large screen. Did you want to do a shameless plug, Eric, for your YouTube channel before we look at this?
Absolutely. My channel is Benedetto, and just post all the shows that we go to and as much riding footage as I can. Had a pretty poor winter for that, but we got a few rides in, and it was all good.
Nice. And it's definitely an excellent channel, worth a look. And there's a link to it in the description. So if you like what you see, there's a link that'll take you right there. Let's take a quick look here and take a look at one of these clips. It's just taking a minute to load here. The first clip, for some reason, always takes a moment to load. And we've got to find some Jeopardy music for occasions like this while we're waiting. And okay, so it failed. Let me try it again. Sometimes it takes more than one attempt to load it. It's always just that first time for some reason.
Probably can.
Yeah, we're having a Murphy's Law moment here. excellent footage. And again, that footage was done by our good friend on the upper screen on the very right, the man with the beard. That's his YouTube channel that we got this off of, and we thank him for that, Eric. And I have the ability to scroll through for anyone who can see the screen. If anyone wants to make comments on any of these sleds, I can try to stop on a sled you'd like to make a comment on.
One or two more screens. The Blizzard Racer right there, back up. The 73, that's our good friend sled and 73 Blizzard. And you don't see many of those around at the shows. And so a big plug to him, Bud Manzari.
Nice. Any other sleds of note?
Honestly, they're all of note as far as I'm concerned, because without snow, we had no go. And this was supposed to be a ride, right?
Yeah.
And so we are really proud of the vintage community that turned out for us this day. You know, the mud did not dampen our spirits. And so when we had this event, we really wanted to do something that Matt himself would have been proud to attend. And I really feel we hit the mark.
Listen, it was a great time by everybody had a great time.
Yep.
Definitely.
That is great. And yes, hats off. If I didn't have this headphone on, I'd say hats off to the vintage snowmobile community. The community is amazing for showing up. Rain, shine, cold, sleet, sub-zero. If you put on an event, there's always people that'll show. And it's wonderful. And this is a wonderful tribute to Matt right here. I love all of these images.
Thank you.
Very, very nice. Very, very nice. And we have comments aplenty coming in. Let's take a look at some of these. Where was I here? Here we go. Our good friend Kevin Colhane is in the house saying good evening. John Spranger Jr., my good friend, says good evening from Eland, Wisconsin. Nice to see you. Regular viewers from the very beginning, Stacy and Art Bosler, say, hey guys, from Platkill, New York, regular viewer. Alan Gove says, maybe the song Let It Snow, Let It Snow. Maybe that would have been enough to take it over the edge. Definitely. And then someone is saying, here we go. Matt's mom is in the house saying, hello, everyone. Wanted to thank all of you for what you did for the family. And Mike, thank you for the airtime. Well, it's my pleasure to do that. And thank you for being in the house viewing. And anyone else want to respond to that? Or
It was an excellent video, Eric. Thank you very much.
I appreciate it. And I just kind of realized this watching it through. A good handful of those sleds were out on rides with us. At the, a couple times we did get to ride. So that was great to see. Just kind of encompasses what we're all about.
nice.
Listen, the no snow really didn't damper the event at all. It was
It really did.
it was really nice.
Yep.
Yeah, definitely. Plenty of sleds, plenty of people. Yeah,
It was
love
standing room only when we did the presentation.
Wonderful. And we have a clip, I think, from that, which we'll show a little later. But still plenty of comments coming in. Let's see. Jeff Wesner says, great video. Tim Bewick says, hello, everyone. Nice to see you, Tim. Tim is a relative of this. Robbie LaCroix says, looking for a nice silver bullet for a buddy. If anyone has one, please PM him. And we do allow that. People looking or selling a sled, we allow that in the comments. And we encourage that as part of this community around this podcast. Our good friend Josh Levicker is in the house saying good evening. Robbie LaCroix says hello from Canaan, New Hampshire. Our good friend Judy Rinaldi is in the house. Now, Judy has the distinction of being the first woman to be inducted into the Eastern Snowmobile Hall of Fame out in Lancaster, New Hampshire. I think that was back in 2020. Legendary lady racer from the East. And also just a wonderful person. We're glad to have you in the house, Judy, being part of this. James Whiteside says, those are some sweet machines. Heck yeah. John Spranger Jr. says, I like the bubble nose Ski-Doo on the late model chassis. I was admiring that myself. Where was that? It's right there. Gotta love a resto mod. Definitely.
I
think so.
Yeah, it's an MXZ chassis.
Sweet. Yeah, I love seeing that. That is cool.
The Polaris next to it is a XLT that he made into what that is. That's
an RXL clone.
That's actually a Polaris XLT that he converted. Same guy.
That's amazing. Very talented guy, it looks like.
Yeah.
Nice. And also, Matt's aunt is in the house, wants to thank all of those who shared the story of Matt. It really helps all of us to hear stories of him, and thank you so much. Very nice.
It's our pleasure.
And then Josh Levicker, our good friend, says, see you all in Lowville, May 25th. In fact, I think I might have a graphic for that event. I hope this is the right graphic. It is.
We'll be there.
Yes, yes. So if you're in the area at that time, be sure to check that out. Team Bewick says the support is overwhelming. We're happy that we can do that, for sure. Our good friend James Whiteside says, so sorry for your loss, everyone.
Thank you.
And yeah, someone on Facebook saying snow would have helped. Absolutely. But it's amazing the resilience of this vintage snowmobile community. The show goes on regardless, and everyone has a good time. And then Todd McMillan says he's from Madoc, Ontario, Canada, regular viewer. Nice to see you, Todd. And cool. So let me remove this, and we are just getting started. I've got another clip from that show. Unless anyone's got comments or anything they wanted to add, I'll roll that other clip. Anything, anyone? Or?
Talk about his sleds.
Yeah.
Matt's sleds.
The sleds you saw at the beginning are Matt sleds, and I think you might have had a clip later on for those.
I believe so.
Sleds. Yeah, so let's wait until we get to that to talk about Matt's sleds.
Gotcha. All right, so let's continue with this event here. We've got more footage, and this footage is from Eric. Yeah, so more great footage. Got to love some startups, you know.
Absolutely. The smell-o-vision is great too, isn't it?
Yes, I can tell that you can smell it from there. And in fact, there were people commenting to that effect. I don't know if people have been monitoring.
Yeah, we're reading them.
I agree with James Whiteside too. Bogey suspensions are going to make a comeback, especially with these lean snow seasons.
Yes, no doubt. Yeah, we had some great comments coming in during that. And yeah, and I have the ability to go through this. I know a lot of these Polarises were Rich Shad sleds. Rich is in the house on the top screen on the left there. Any comments on these, Rich?
No, I had them all running today. Just I start them up regularly just to make sure that they stay running. Still got full tanks of fuel in all of them. So.
Very cool. Yeah, nice collection you've got there, and then some nice Ski-Doos, and yeah, very cool. Now, is this one of the sleds that you were talking about? Was this Matt's sled, this one?
Yes, that's 71 TNT. Yeah.
Gotcha. I had a feeling. Yeah. Nice.
Or,
nice.
Excuse me, not.
That's TNT.
Oh, I'm sorry. There's the TNT. The Blizzard was on the other side with Bud.
Gotcha. And then someone made a comment here. Let's see. Robbie LaCroix says, "Gotta love that smoke and the sound. I remember as a kid growing up in my dad and grandfather's snowmobile shop, pardon me, Lakeview Sports Center in Enfield, New Hampshire. The smoke would be so thick in the basement, and there would be a bunch of people upstairs, and they all smoke cigarettes, including my dad and grandfather. And he said, you can imagine a snowmobile shop being open Saturday and Sundays during the week, and from 7 to 11 every night. Parents made him go home at 8 most nights, and he didn't want to go. Crazy times." Cool deal. Yeah, you hear if people smoking cigarettes upstairs and they can smell the two-stroke from downstairs, you know you're doing something down there.
Yeah,
Definitely.
Hey, Reese.
Yes, Reese says hello. He saw you guys today. That's very cool. Well, cool. Any other comments on this clip we just saw before we look at some more? Or
I'd just like to say a few things.
Yeah.
First off, this community support has been overwhelming. We've met more people who offered more support than we ever thought were out there. People attended the event that didn't have snowmobiles. They were just people that came to support us and the community. And it was really very nice. We left there with a really good feeling.
wonderful. Yeah, that is great. And I'm glad that everyone showed up and that everyone had a positive experience like that. Yeah, very cool. And it's a great way to honor Matt's memory too. It's just since he loved this so much, just a great way to honor him and his memory and the things that he loved.
It's funny. As a kid, my brother and I had a couple old Polaris snowmobiles, and my memories of snowmobiling weren't as good as everyone else's. We used to live in an apple orchard. My brother and I would get to the end of the apple orchard. Somehow the snowmobiles would die. Next thing you know, we're walking home to get a toboggan to drag them home. They were my memories. And every time I saw Matt's old sleds, I'm like, oh my God, what is he getting into?
Nice. Brings
but he
it all
loved
back.
it, and he met a lot of nice people.
Nice. That's cool. And we've got comments coming in. Roger Cormier says, excellent vintage snowmobile show with a sampling from each sled. Likes the running sleds. Bill Nast is watching from New Hampshire. Nice to see you, Bill. I believe he's from Lancaster or near that area. James Whiteside says, be very glad, guys, that you have these events. Nothing like this in Illinois. Such a loss for us. It's true. Yeah. Northern Vermont, New Hampshire, upstate New York, a lot of activity with vintage snowmobile events. And yeah, it's a wonderful thing. Yeah.
It's year round here. There's shows every month from now until November. Somewheres there's in New York, there's a show.
That's amazing. And I don't know about where you guys are in New York, but I have to say in Northern Vermont and New Hampshire, I think it's on a positive curve. There's new shows popping up and they're all very well attended. And the shows that are established that have been around for a few years, they're just so well attended that sometimes it's difficult to find parking and it's a little too much in some ways. But there's a saying out there, I think it was Mae West that said this. Sometimes too much of a good thing can be wonderful, and I think that's certainly an example of that.
Yeah,
it's totally true. Though we want to give a shout out to the Hartford Ridge Riders. That was the show in Argyle. It was their 10th show. Extremely well attended, and it was a little limited because of the lack of snow. We had to be on the blacktop, but it really was nice. And so we'll have an upcoming clip. Eric had done a walkthrough, and we'll have some clips on our Northshore Vintage page as well from his page.
Excellent. We'll be sure to look for that. And there's a link in the description to the Northshore Vintage Snowmobile page as well. So be sure and look for that. They do a great group with that. Now, we've got more comments coming in. Jim Gauchione says that Matt was a good friend and we texted often. Very cool. Very cool. Jeffrey Patton says, all those old sleds, you didn't ride much, but worked on them all the time. It's true. You worked on them as much as ride, I believe.
Yep.
Absolutely. Any more on this before we switch to the next clip?
No, let's roll on.
All right. Let me get this down and let's find the next clip. All right. Part 3. So yeah, more excellent footage from Eric. And by the way, these video clips are from Eric's YouTube channel. I think he calls it Benedim, and Eric is at the top of the screen. He's the one on the right. He's got a great YouTube channel. There are links to it in the description. So if you like what you're looking at just now, be sure and check out his YouTube channel. There's plenty more where that came from. And any comments on any of this?
Just more of the same.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody likes to hear them start. The crowd start to gather as soon as you soon as you start the first one, and then it's kind of repetitious, everybody starts starting them down the line, you know. So it's just in our minds, it's a way of proving that they actually run. You know, there's a lot of trailer queens out there, but you know, we like to ride, and that's proof positive that our sleds ride, or we can ride them.
Yes, absolutely. And yeah, between the sounds and the smells, it's just, and it takes you back. And somebody was saying, I think psychologist or something, that smells are a very powerful memory trigger. And I think that's why we all like the smell of two-stroke so much, because it takes you right back, you know, to the 70s to smell these sleds running.
I like to romanticize about how good riding was back when, Keith.
Yeah, right.
I actually learned how to fix them because I probably spent more time under the hood than on the seat of our 73 Link 292.
My brother became very good at fixing them. That really wasn't my wheelhouse.
And we've had tons of really nice comments coming in. I was popping them on the screen as we were reviewing. We've got more that have come in. Glenn Ford says, nice to hear the sleds run. That's the way it should be. I think we're all in agreement on that for sure. And our good friend James Spranger says, these clips sure bring a lot of memories. Scott Backs, I'm not sure what he means, but yeah, it brings back a lot of memories. Absolutely. Todd McMillan says, I wish we had a snowmobile show in Madoc, Ontario. That would be cool. And then our good friend Reese Fleury says, got to get you guys up here next winter for a ride around Fish Creek campsite.
Yeah.
Put the order in for snow, Reese.
Yes.
I think they had some here.
Oh, and then someone else is saying, would love to redo this event next year. Thank you to all of you out there that had the same passion Maddie had conversations about this passion with him. He would talk circles about what he had or what he was purchasing. Matt was always after something, motors, spark plugs, you name it. He loved it. This community allowed him to love and appreciate this vintage community. Very cool. This must be a family member.
Yes, you guys really did. Everybody was, I never really knew how many friends he had out there in the vintage community. A gentleman named Bud Manzari, he really took a liking to Matt, and Matt really enjoyed spending time with him, and he's become a friend of ours.
Wow.
Great guy.
Yes,
That's
he
amazing.
is. Him and his son and his wife, really nice people.
Nice.
Yep.
Very cool. Cool. Any further comments on this clip before we go on to the next one, or?
Yeah, I think the nice thing about Eric's channel is it gives people a chance to revisit the shows and to reminisce about them, but also for those that can't make some of the shows. Also for the people out in the other states that don't have this, you can have that show in Ontario, Todd. It just really takes a group of people to commit yourself to that, and if you plan it right, people will come.
Yeah, for sure. And if you decide to take on such an endeavor, reach out to me and I'll do what I can on this end to help promote it using this podcast. There's quite a few viewers from Quebec and Ontario who view this. Maybe we can help you get a little bit of momentum for that. And I've got places where you can post your event as well. The Wheels, Keels, and Snowmobiles Facebook group is a place where you're always welcome to post things like that. So anything I can do from this end with the podcast and my social media properties, happy to help with that. And Jeff Wesner says, Wisconsin started Vintage Snowmobile Events Facebook page. Turn your shows in. So, oh, yeah, because he does, Jeff does the, what's the name of it? He does a Facebook group. Is it Do Talk? Am I thinking? Maybe I don't know. But yeah, if you have a link or the name of your page you're talking about, Jeff, if you could let us know and we'll send people that way, let people, make people aware of it. Todd McMillan says, thank you guys. And yeah, I hope you decide to explore that. And I know a few people in Ontario. I'm happy to put you in touch with them. I don't know what the lay of the land looks like in Ontario as far as what's close to what, but maybe there's someone I know that's close to you that maybe could act as an ally and help get that going.
We use the Northshore Vintage page as a clearinghouse for all the events in New York. So people have started to share that with us and post directly. So we welcome that. anything vintage in New York, and we will promote it.
Nice. Well, cool. So next we have a video clip. Let me see. This is where Thom was remembering Matt at the event. I think this was either before or during where they did the trophies. Any comments on this before we roll this clip? Or
no, it was, like I said, the timing of it was good. And we just really had a lot of good energy there. Everyone was really there for the right reasons, and we raised quite a bit of money for suicide prevention that day, and again, just had a heck of a good time, and it was really nice to see that turn out, and we really want to thank everyone that came out.
Very cool. Thank you all.
Well, cool. Yes, let's take a look at that.
This is a pretty darn good turnout of people, so I want to give everybody a round of applause. We're really honored to have the family of Matt here, and we'd like to thank them for the support of Northshore Vintage Sleds, and obviously we want to show that support, and the vintage crowd turned out really well for this family here. And Matt. Matt was somebody that obviously we did a show of hands. I think probably a third of the room are people that are close friends or family of Matt. And also we have a lot of people that casually knew Matt. And honestly, I count myself as maybe one of the ones that more casually knew Matt. I did not get to know him to the extent I really wished I had. And that's why life is so precious. You cannot take anything for granted you do not know. But Matt, I first met Bud Manzari, introduced us at the Whiteout show a couple years ago. And Bud had introduced me, and then Matt and I started talking. Bud came back about an hour and a half later, and Matt and I were still talking, and he said, I knew you guys were going to get along famously. And it was true. Yeah. That was Matt. But if you knew Matt in the snowmobile world, you also knew Matt that he liked sleds. He liked the Skidoo Blizzards. He really had appreciation of many different models and brands, but his passion really was old Skidoos. And Matt had a 73 Blizzard that was the exact same one that I'd had since 1990. And until I met Matt, actually, I'd never seen an engine for that sled in the flesh. And Matt had purchased that sled from a gentleman, Kirk Kruger, and had it shipped out and was working on it, buying parts. And so Matt and I agreed we'd work together to try to make sure we both could restore those sleds, because they're very hard sleds to find parts for. And so we would chat, text back and forth, share things, and I would always tease him a little bit because I have a pretty good nose. They say a blind pig finds a truffle every now and then. I'm a blind pig finding that truffle, because Blizzard parts are like truffles. They're kind of expensive too. And so I would find a part, and I'd text Matt, and he'd like, where did you find that? And as it goes, many people don't really want to advertise that they've got parts. So it would usually be, well, I can't tell you, I want to be anonymous kind of thing. It was always fun. But then he came to me, he wanted to sell it to me, and I was actually shocked. And I said, you're selling that? And it turns out he wanted to buy a certain 1970 292 Blizzard that you see outside there, number 1217. And so once I found out that's really what his goal was, we worked together, and that happened. And I bought that sled from him, and he bought that 1217. And so, that was really how our friendship was. It was just around the mutual love and respect of snowmobiles. As I've gotten to know Matt's family and to get to know more of Matt, he really was a wonderful person. Really kind, caring, very passionate about his family. And when it comes to someone taking their life, I don't even know. I deal with people in crisis all the time in my daily life, but honestly, I know I've seen people in crisis, and I think in myself, my own existence, I think I might have talked a few people out of doing that. I don't know. But I felt like that was where we were at in the conversation. And you just don't know, right? So one of the things we really wanted to do in supporting Matt's family is really support everyone and the entire family. You're now all part of Matt's family.
Yep.
And you are part of the North Shore Vintage Sleds family. And we wanted to make sure that we're going about this thoughtfully. What is it, I've asked myself 100 times. I texted with him a couple of days before. And I say to myself, if only I had known. If only I'd known. Well, maybe I should have known. I don't know. That's not for me to say and judge. I really can't feel guilt around these things. It's about gaining understanding and really becoming a little more competent in the area of mental health and what we can do to support other people. And so with that, I have invited Andy Taddeo and Beth Kazel with a K, sounds like Hazel. I don't know how to spell it, but that's how you say it. They are from the Central New York chapter of the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention. And actually, Matt's family identified their group as a cause that they wanted to support. And as you look into their website and their information, there is so much depth of information, like tip of the iceberg. What could I do more, right? Well, there is actually some easy things we can do, and they've got a lot of information about that. So one of the things this is really an outreach opportunity. This is not where we're going to get some, maybe we will get some nugget, I don't know. Hopefully you'll get some nugget, right? But really, part of it is I think there's information that's available to people, and if you are in that situation or, as a friend, family member, whatever, there's ways to make sure we are connecting people with that help. No go.
Yeah, that's a great message right there. We appreciate you helping to spread awareness, and yeah, that's just maybe some good that can come out of a horrible situation.
Yep, absolutely.
I have a lot of thoughts on this. The first thing is that mental health is really real. People want to discount things. People hurt. People don't want to let other people know. We have to ask. We have to check in with people. This is a crisis like I can't tell you how many people I know who've either taken their own life or they've had somebody in their family or a friend take their life. It's become really big, and we need to check in with people. We need to make sure that everybody is okay. And if somebody is not okay, we have to let them know that it's okay to get help. Listen, my son has been gone for 5 months, and for 5 months, I've seen a therapist once a week. And you know what? It really doesn't matter what people think. We have to take care of each other. We have to take care of ourselves. It's become a crisis. And this is a very important cause to our family. And collectively, with Northshore Vintage Sleds and everybody else, we have raised a nice amount of money. We've raised over $22,000. And, we're not going to stop there. It's a very important cause to us. And we really appreciate Thom and Rich and Eric's help. Yeah, for sure. And you're right, to build on what you're saying, especially today, things are difficult. Things are very divided and conflicted right now, and a lot of people are struggling for a lot of different reasons, and all the more reason for us to all check in with each other and see how we're really doing. Absolutely.
And like you said, there's no shame in seeking help from our friends, from professionals, whatever it is that we need to help us get through a difficult situation. There's no shame in that. And it's a way for us to be there for each other.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, I agree wholeheartedly. And the message really is exactly that, what Keith said, is just take care of one another, check in with each other.
Yeah, that is true. And we're a community for each other. And to me, that's what community is about, is, going that little extra step to see how people are really doing. Yeah.
Can I make a little shameless plug?
By all means, yes.
We have another fundraiser going on presently. We're raffling off 2 Miller welding helmets. They're very high-end digital elite welding helmets. It's a Stars and Stripes edition. We're selling one raffle for $10, three raffles for $25. And again, it goes to a good cause. It's going, we're going to split the money between Northshore Sleds and American Federation for Suicide Foundation. So please support us. It makes a difference. It really does.
For sure. And I do have a graphic for that. If you're curious about that drawing, there's a text number on the screen. Just text that number for details. You can acquire some tickets and be part of that. And
there's also a Facebook group for that, for the drawing, so people can connect through Facebook or that text.
Oh, good. Yeah, great cause. Great cause. Well, cool. Any more on this before we shift gears, or?
Yeah, I think again, the vintage snowmobile community is a great outlet to network with people that are like-minded and really caring individuals. So, there's not a limit to what we can do to help others, and so we all should be thinking along those lines.
Listen, there's a gentleman. I just have to mention his name. During the event, towards the end, when Thom was giving out the prizes, a gentleman named Carmen Russo came up to me after he found out who I was, and he said, "Can I give you a hug?" And I said, "Sure." And listen, this is what these guys are all about. They all care.
Nice. That's cool. There's a lot of love there.
There really is. A bunch of good guys.
Yeah. Very cool. Very cool. So we've got some more clips to look at. We've got some more sleds being started to look at. Let me pull that up here, and we'll look at the sights and sounds and imagine the smells that are associated with that.
What'd you do?
Yeah, so I know everyone watching that can smell the two-stroke, and if that's why we're here, right? Yeah, very cool to see that, and sometimes it takes a few pulls, like with this one here, it takes a few pulls, but that's all part of the experience,
Yeah, builds character.
Yes.
It's all fun and games until everybody's ready to start their sleds.
Yeah.
Definitely. And we were talking backstage. Someone was saying that the difficulty of starting the sled is in direct proportion to the crowd that's gathered around it.
Yeah.
Yes. And we've got some comments coming in. Oh, here we go. Someone's saying Matt wore one of those helmets with pride. Yes. Very cool. And yeah, someone else commenting about the helmet. Let's see if I can find that helmet in the clip here. Did anyone remember if it was near the beginning or the end of the clip?
It was in your the advertisement, the promo.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. Gotcha.
Yeah.
I was looking for a snowmobile helmet. Let me see. There we go. All right. I misunderstood that, and I apologize.
No.
But cool. So, yeah, I think we got all the comments. We're on top of that. Any other comments on this clip before we move on?
Nope.
All right. Now we've got a photo montage. These are images that were sent to me. I think it's about this event. I put them into the little, using my video editing, I put them into a little montage with some music under it. And it's fun to look at. Let me pull it up here and we'll take a look. Yeah, so some more great images. And again, this was an event that was put on in loving memory of Matt Bewick. Great snowmobile event. Anything anyone would like to add to that? Or
again, we want to thank everyone that really came out to support Matt's event. You know, again, for me personally, I wanted to make sure we had done something. I think we all agreed that Matt himself would have been proud of, and so we worked really hard at that. I'm glad there's video footage because I was inside kind of manning the registration table, doing some other things about the event. And so, you know, hats off to every organizer out there. I have a little more of appreciation for what has to happen behind the scenes for something like this to come off well.
yes,
And we've gotten just so much positive feedback from people that attended, and you know, our group gets good response. People really are interested in riding these sleds, not just, you know, seeing them at shows, but really fixing them and enjoying them for their, you know, to their fullest potential. It's nothing like riding a modern sled. And so really, you know, you're really with the machine as primitive as they were, you know, they've made so many advancements from this, you know, 60s to 70s into the 80s and 90s. And now certainly they're like, you know, cars, you know, almost drive themselves, right? But when you're with a vintage sled, tooling along the trail with a group of people and you smell that two-stroke, there's nothing like it.
Yes, absolutely. Takes you right back. Deja vu all over again.
Yeah. More and more of them are coming out too. The people are getting them out. The previous sled before that slide right there, that moto ski, if you pull that one back up, you go back one. Nope. Keep going forward.
Right there.
Right there. That guy pulled that out of the garage. His dad bought that sled brand new. Still has all the original paperwork for it. And he brought it to our show because he heard about the show. And he actually started it while he was there.
Yeah.
But it's just, yeah, there's a lot of them sitting in garages and barns, you know.
That's cool. That's cool. There's probably still some undiscovered.
Oh,
but, yeah. Now, as far as the fundraising side of this, is there a website, or did you want to talk that up for a moment, as far as if someone is inspired to want to make a donation from viewing this, as to what their next steps might be?
Well,
Through the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention, there's still a Team Matt link, and we can get that to you, Mike, to put in the description for future people that want to see it. I'm not sure if there's easy way to find that, but if you go through the National American Foundation for Suicide Prevention site and go to their donate page, you have to search there for Team Matt Vintage Ride. And
Okay.
that's one way. Second is that fundraiser that you put the graphic up on earlier, and that's a raffle that's, again, going directly to support the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention and our group, Northshore Vintage Sleds. The family was very generous in wanting to support us with that as well. And so we really appreciate that.
So any questions at all, if anyone has questions or would like to learn more, it's okay for them to text this number, whether it's to find out about this raffle or how to reach the foundation?
absolutely.
Excellent. I'll leave this graphic up for another moment here. If you're curious about that, please write this number down. And when we're finished with the podcast, please reach out with any comments or questions you might have about that.
Also, if you went to Matt's mom's Facebook page, which is Cynthia Canosa Keeter, or mine, except my name is backwards on Facebook. It's Bewick Keith. You can find the link to the American Federation for Suicide Prevention there.
Gotcha. Good. And we've got another montage clip. Anything? Any more comments before we switch gears to that? Or
Nope. We're ready.
All right. One more montage here, and then we've got some other things to look at. Here we go. I'm going to make sure I'm picking the right one. Here it is. Yeah, good times. I like, especially on this clip, that there were so many faces of I should say, people pictures. Just seeing a lot of smiling faces and camaraderie and community and camaraderie, and yeah.
You know,
nice.
For me to watch it again, it's very overwhelming. Our families, Matt's mom's family, my family, we have a relationship that is second to none. We come together, we come as a pack.
Yeah,
for, a
package
lack of,
deal, so to speak.
for a lack of better terms. we come as a pack, and we all get along. We all support each other, and I love this group shot.
Yeah, my favorite too.
It really is. You know, that sums up. Listen, it was a perfect day. It couldn't. The only thing that would have been better is if we were snow, and then my son really would have got the last laugh on me.
Right.
Definitely. And then we've got comments coming in. Let's see. Oh, yes. John Spranger Jr. says, nothing smells better than racing fuel and clots. Burns the eyes and nose. Yes. And James Whiteside says, sure love the bubble nose, timeless machines. And Tim Bewick says, maybe next season we will get to ride together with a North Shore group.
There you go.
Yeah, that'd be cool. And then we've got a few more things, and I'm kind of hurrying along because we're running out of time, but I want to make sure we get everything in. We've got 2 events that I know you want to talk up for the future, and I've got clips from previous events to help promote those. And I think you wanted to do a little bit of show and tell. You've got some sleds just out of reach there, just out of view that you were wanting to show us. Did you want to do one before the other, or what are your thoughts on that?
Let's do the clips, and if we still have time afterwards, we could do the show.
All right. So here's a clip from the Tug Hill event. And for anyone who likes what they see here, what would you like to tell them about the next event that they might want to consider?
Which one is this? Is this the
Tug Hill? The Tug Hill event?
Tug Hill Hideaway? Yeah,
Yeah.
this is the video clip of the Hideaway show that Ed Stab and Jeff Mowers promote. And really, it was a Boa Ski reunion plus a regular vintage gathering. It was really, really well attended, well done by that group. And then there was a ride as part of that. So commend anybody from anywhere that's looking to really attend some really excellent shows. Upstate New York has some excellent shows. We'd encourage anybody to attend.
Definitely. And I have to put in a good word for my good friend Ed Stab. Anything he's involved with the organization of, you know it's going to be good.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely. So let's take a look. So there you have it. That's a look at the Tug Hill event. And that is from Eric's YouTube channel. Eric is the gentleman in the top screen on the right. And he does a great YouTube channel. There's a link to it in the description. If you like what you've been looking at, there's tons more at his YouTube channel. Be sure and drop by there and check it out. There's a whole lot to look at. Any quick comments about this Tug Hill event for anyone who might be considering going to the next one?
They had 163 registered sleds, they said. I believe 53 of them were boa skis. But this video doesn't show all the sleds. A lot of them had already left to go on the ride. We happened to be eating at the time that they left, so we went on our own ride. But that's just a partial.
Maybe 60 or 70% of the sleds. That
there was, like I said, I think Ed said that there was 163 registered sleds at that show. So
pause there if you would. I want you to go back if you could a little bit. That opening clip for Eric's YouTube. Some of that footage is actually taken right here, right there. The Skidooski shop where we're at is shown in there when you see the green Alpine groomer right there. So we have a lot of trails here, and that's, when the conditions aren't good elsewhere, we've typically had some good riding here still. And so we kind of do a test and tune and come over. So we're hoping to be able to invite some of our local friends to join us here for some riding as we develop some of the more trails, and hopefully snow blesses us a little bit.
Yes. Yeah. Hopefully we'll get a good winter here sometime soon.
Yeah.
And then we also have a clip from the Winona event. Do you want to comment on that real quick before we roll it?
Yeah, Winona is a forest association. Volunteers run it, and they do an excellent job with the trail grooming. And it's also a multi-use facility where they do cross-country, dog sled, snowshoeing, fat bikes. So it's an excellent resource. I'd encourage anybody to look into that and maybe consider supporting them. But they had planned this vintage ride, and they were, figuring towards the end of February, we'd have no trouble with snow, but it was a little touch and go, but the trails turned out excellent. The crew there did a great job grooming what they had to work with, and we had an awesome time there that day.
Nice. So let's do this. Let's roll that clip. While that clip is rolling, if you want to get that remote camera going, that way when we come back, we can go right into some show and tell.
Sounds good.
All right, let's roll it.
That is really cool because it's huge.
So yeah, there's no substitute for taking them out for a ride.
Nope.
Not at all.
Absolutely. So before we get into the show and tell, any final comments on the Winona event?
Now that's the one that the sled that they were giving away that was earlier in the clips. The Win Net sled, they gave it away that day.
That day.
Yep, that day at that event right there, they gave away that sled. So
Wonderful.
It was a fun event. It was, they weren't sure. He had a 30-mile route planned out, and we ended up doing probably 11 because of the conditions. But
sure.
I mean, if you had to have an end to the riding season, which we didn't really have a riding season, that was the perfect event to end on. I mean, it was just really well put together. Winona is just an amazing place for snowmobiles. And it's the reason, me and my dad got into the vintage sleds a few years back because we wanted to ride them there.
Nice. Now we've got a comment that's come in. Our friend David from Alaska Railroad says, looks like fun. I could see myself following on my TXL.
Yep.
Very cool. Good
Bring
times.
it
That
out.
would be. Yes. Well, cool. So let me remove this from the screen, and we're going to add your remote camera, and I'm going to put that full screen. And I know you've got some show and tell for us.
Yeah, so that's my 1972 Olympic LTD, or more commonly known as a Red Devil. Reese mentioned it in the last podcast we were part of, and he commented on it before. You saw it in the startup clip for the event video, and that's kind of what I've been working on since I got it. But that's the way it goes with those. But the Red Devil package was a dealer installed package they used to kind of promote the sleds and get rid of some leftover inventory. The package included the stripes and the decals. It has chrome hood vents. It had special hand grips. It had add-on shot kit and the Skidoo safety flag, which isn't installed right now. But really just a plain old Olympic 335 with some flashy gadgets on it to make it more appealing, I guess.
Yeah.
But I've been trying to get that going, put a new track on it. That was kind of the hold up from getting it out on the snow last year. Ended up biting the bullet and getting a new track. In the clip of our event, it was running on my 1-gallon pony tank, and finally got the fuel system ran the night before the Tug Hill Hideaway show. Got the fuel lines installed, ripped it around the yard a little bit, and threw it in the trailer. It hadn't been on a ride really other than around the house, and didn't really know what was going to happen or how it was going to do. And it's sitting here now. So, evidently I did okay. It made it back to the trailer. So
Yes. Very cool.
That's about it on that. It's a blast to ride. Honestly, I didn't know what to expect, being a bigger guy riding the 335 single, but it had more than enough spunk for me.
Good. Very cool. And then what else have we got in there?
I think you've pretty much seen everything else. Silver Bullet. This is one we picked up at the end of 2022. It's a 75 TNT 440. It's all original, has like 900 miles or something like that. We've been slowly reconditioning it and getting it running. Not planning on restoring this one. It's in pretty good shape as it is, and we intend to keep it that way. We really like the originality of it. But kind of compare and contrast the Red Devil to this. The Red Devil's bogies. This is their slide rail suspension, and it was huge step up as far as comfort and performance, and that sled's pretty quick. Honestly, it has a hard time hooking up, but once she goes. It's a real blast to ride, and as far as vintage sleds go, it actually does what you want it to. It goes where you tell it to go, and you can ride it without getting too awful beat up.
Yeah, those are nice. When I was a kid, our neighbors had, I think it was either a 73 or 74. They had a 340 and a 440, the old fan cool, just like you're looking at here. And we rode them both to drive them as passengers, and great sled. One of the top sleds for the day. For 73, 74, that was probably one of the more refined sleds on the snow.
Yeah, and really Skidoo started to refine things. 73 they started, 74, 75. They were starting to really think about stuff, ergonomics, comfort, and they're just a blast to ride. We were hooked. The one you kind of see the front of now was the first one we got, and we took that out and we were hooked. It's just a blast.
Nice. Now we've got a comment that's come in. David from Alaska Railroad says, we had a 245 RV years ago. Wish we still had it. Yeah, no doubt. Those are sweet.
Yep.
Then we got an Alpine.
Alpine 2, we saw that at the last podcast. That was formerly the Toad Hollow grooming sled.
Nice.
That's a blast in its own right as well. It's not really one you're going to keep up on a trail ride, but you're going to make pretty sweet trails groomed for the trail ride. Really good utility sled. Really, really awesome pulling power. Just doesn't really steer like all Alpines. It's just the nature of the beast.
With that single ski, yeah.
This is actually another former club sled that we picked up. This formerly belonged to the Tupper Lake Snowmobile Club. That is how we actually came to meet Reese. Reese is a great guy, and we ended up with it, and it's actually a really fun sled to ride. It kind of is gray area as far as whether or not it's vintage. Rich likes to bust on us about that a little bit, but
sure,
it's head stab approved.
Yeah,
head stab approved, so it's vintage.
Nice.
That's got the 503 fan cooled engine, which is a great engine from all I've heard. 24-inch wide track, high-low reverse transmission. That pulls is about as good as the Alpine 2, but it'll actually steer while you're pulling a drag or whatever.
Nice. How long is that track? Is it like a 137, or is it longer than that, or
I'm not.
Or 144 maybe.
154 maybe.
154, yeah.
The neat thing about that sled is the back of the skid actually articulates.
Sure.
So that sled will actually back up and back over obstacles. Compared to like even the new sleds, our Renegades, they don't back off the trailer, they bottom out. But with this Scandic, that back will articulate. It allows it to float right up and down steep angles, obstacles, whatever. It's really an awesome machine. It's
state of the art.
Yes, state of the art, I guess, as far as a utility machine. You saw in the Winona ride they have a Scandics in their fleet. The only thing we've seen is a lot of clubs are going away from them just because people want side by sides with cab and heat and comfort. I don't blame them, but
local fire departments. The local fire departments have Scandics.
Yeah.
Around this area. Yeah. A couple of them do.
Nice.
But, that's my 72 TNT 440, which we talked about in the last podcast, but you can see the skis off it. I had to borrow some parts to get the Red Devil up to the ride.
Sure.
I took parts from that and a couple other project sleds we had.
You do what you got to do, right?
All in the name of good fun.
Yes.
So 65 Olympic.
Yeah, that's an early one.
That's a blast to ride in very small doses. The thing I always say about that is it has 2 inches of suspension travel, and that's only because the seat foam is 2 inches thick.
Sure.
But that's
so you feel every bump on that.
Oh yeah, for sure. That's honestly one of our best running sleds. That thing just goes. It'll start and go anytime you want it to.
Nice. Oh, and Reese Fleury says you need skis. I have plenty, so he might be able to hook you up with some skis.
Need tracks, Reese.
There's the Red Devil.
Yep. So
the Silver Bullet. Yeah, the Silver Bullet's in nice shape.
Yeah, that actually came from our friend who we talked about a little while ago, Bud Manzari. Came out of his collection.
Yeah.
He bought it for his son. Now it's like 18 years ago, and he was getting interested in Silver Bullets. But then suddenly, when he found out about 775s, he no longer was interested in Silver Bullets. So it kind of just sat there.
Gotcha.
And I was looking for something I could just go out and ride and have fun and not have to not a major project. And
sure.
He had that one, and it's worked out good so far. It's it's previously restored. It's in really good shape. They did a pretty good job on the restoration, and got a few kinks to work out, and that should be out on the trails next year, provided we have snow.
Yeah.
Sweet. Now this might be sacrilege, but a good friend of mine had a Silver Bullet back in the day, and he put an ice fishing box between the tunnel and the seat, which I imagine today would be sacrilege. But
hey, back in those days, you got to do what you got to do.
Yes, and he used it for ice fishing. Yeah, but this was like at this point, it's like in the early '80s. So I mean, it wasn't like a newer modern sled at that time, So he could afford to kind of do things like that to it. It wasn't like he was doing it to a new sled, but today, yeah, for someone to do that today to a Silver Bullet would be considered sacrilege.
That still wouldn't hurt my feelings as much as some of the nicknames that you hear around the Silver Bullet, Lead Bullet, Silver Slug. I zone out. There's been others. I don't remember them. I block them out. But
right.
That you either love the Silver Bullet or you hate the Silver Bullet. That's just the way it goes.
Yeah.
But really, as far as the sled, it was heavier. It was down on horsepower. Had to start contending with the emissions side of things, and compared to a 72, it just doesn't have the same performance. But as far as on the technological advances, you start to see things like the handlebar pad, ergonomics started to become more prevalent, and the biggest thing is the rear slider suspension. Offered a lot more suspension travel than the bogey suspension did, and you could get bogeys on a Silver Bullet. It was an option.
Wow, yeah.
Compared to the bogeys, this has a lot more travel, a lot more comfort. It's just an absolute joy to ride. Not as much as the 75. It's still a little bit narrower than the 75s. It's a little tippy, but it's comfortable.
Nice. Now, Darren Bradley made a comment. He says, I put a Polaris 650 triple in my Silver Bullet. He said it goes pretty good. Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah, I believe he's a member of the Silver Bullet page we started.
Very cool.
Pretty interesting sled.
So if someone wants to find your Silver Bullet page, what are they searching for on Facebook?
Oh, geez. Silver Bullet TNT, I think, 1973, Silver Bullet TNT.
There's actually 2 groups. Ours has more members.
There we go.
Yeah, we love the Silver Bullet. It's just you don't see anything, like it. It was a huge departure from the black and yellow that Skidoo was known for, and it just like on a nice sunny day, the silver paint just pops. It doesn't look like anything else, other than maybe like the Vikings and the Speedways and all those others that have the metal flake. But
Sure.
it's just a very nice looking sled, in my opinion.
Oh, I agree. And did they do it just for 73, or did they do it for 74 also? Or
Yep, 73 was the only year for the silver bullets. Once
that gives it some uniqueness.
Yeah, this was a kind of a turning point year for Skidoo. The silver bullet was, one of the last. It was the last center mount engine TNT. After that, it switched to the the front mount engine like the fan cooled you see, and 73 free air was it was a hot sled for Skidoo.
Yes.
This one's a 74, but basically the same general idea. There's some subtle differences, but
sure.
Very, very hot sled in its day.
Yes. And our good friend James Spranger is saying thank you for sharing your collection with us.
Oh, thanks for watching, James.
Oh, and David from Alaska Railroad says my brother-in-law had a silver bullet and he liked it. Cool deal. So yeah, that's about all the time we have for tonight. Going to go around the circle for closing comments. The upper left-hand shot, the three gentlemen. Any closing comments? Rich, Shad?
Thanks for letting us come on, and the event was. I think the event was a great success, and even though we didn't get to do the ride, I think for the event that we had, doing the ride might have taken away from the event, in some ways. So, maybe down the road we'll do a memorial ride if we ever get snow. But I think somebody else is going to have to start pulling the permits because I've pulled 5 and haven't done a ride yet. so something's wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah. Change the juju up a little bit. Maybe I'll ask for it or Eric will.
Yeah.
But no, I think Rich hit it. We want to really thank everyone again that came out. I want to thank the Bewick family for believing in us and, allowing the honor. It was our honor, truly, to be able to do something to celebrate Matt. And I know he would have been proud. And so, we'll continue to do things to keep his memory alive and to keep spreading the word and to keep sharing the good about vintage snowmobiles.
Yes. And Eric?
Yeah, I just want to thank you for having us on here again. It's great fun as was the last time. Thank you everyone who's watching and your comments. We appreciate it. And shameless plug number 2. If you like what you saw with my videos, subscribe to my channel. I'm really trying to grow the channel and really share what we do at Northshore Vintage Sleds with the world. Because we have a blast, and I think other people want to do the same stuff. And it's you talk to people at the show, and you tell them what we're about and what we do, and they're just like, "Oh no, really? Like, yeah, we want to ride. That's what we do," and they're all about it, and it's great to see.
Nice. And the only comment I'll make is I will say that I consider it an honor as well to be able to use this podcast as a way to get the word out about Matt and all of the activities you're doing around that. And Keith, closing comments?
I want to thank you first for having us. I want to thank Rich, Eric, and Tom. It was a great event. You guys have made a very big impact in our lives. This hasn't been easy, and we appreciate all your efforts. And I got to thank my family, and I especially got to thank Matt's mom, Matt's stepdad, Bob, and my wife, Lori, for all their support. Everybody has just been great. And if anybody is listening to this podcast that hasn't been to a vintage show, get out there. It really is a lot of fun. Thank you, guys.
Thanks.
Keith.
Yes, thank you. And in closing, I'll put up this graphic for the helmet raffle one more time. We'll just leave that up for maybe 30 seconds or so, and then we'll go into the Amsoil video we always do at the end. But yeah, thank you so much, everyone on the panel tonight, all the viewers, all the wonderful comments. We really appreciate it. And yeah, thank you so much for viewing. And as always, the last word goes to our friends at Amsoil. Hello, everyone. This is Rob and Mike. How you doing today, Rob?
I'm doing good. Mike, yourself?
Very well. Thank you so much for coming on. I appreciate it. Now, today, we're going to be talking about Amsoil. And in a few moments, we're going to show you how you can get the deepest discounts, free shipping, and free gifts when you order your Amsoil products through us. But first, I'm going to ask Rob to give you a quick description of what Amsoil is and why you should consider using Amsoil products in your motorized vehicles.
Thanks, Mike. Amsoil is 100% synthetic oil. Everybody uses Amsoil for a different reason. Some people like the benefits that Amsoil is warranted for 25,000 miles or 1 year. The reason we can do that is because Amsoil doesn't oxidize. It doesn't form the usual carbons, gums, sludges like petroleum oils do. That's why we can keep it in the engines longer. Petroleum oils never do wear out. They oxidize themselves. That's why they have to be changed at 3,000 kilometers. And Amsoil likes the benefit that you only have to change the oil once a year. That saves some money. Some of the people like the benefit of Amsoil is it's a slipperier type lube. By having a slipperier type lube, it cuts down friction and drag. By less friction and drag, engines run 20 to 50 degrees cooler, better gas mileage. Now, Amsoil says 25% more protection than the industry requires is in the Amsoil bottles. My average customer gets about 10% increase in gas mileage. That's a big savings.
Yeah.
And by cutting down friction and drag, for every 10 degrees you cut down the friction and drag, doubles the life of the engine. So by having the engine run cooler, it makes it last longer. Some people like the benefit of the range of the Amsoil. Amsoil's flash point is 425 degrees, and it pours at 50 below zero. Wow. If you ever try petroleum oil when it's 10 below, it turns to honey. And in the summertime, petroleum oil thins out, and once it thins out, that's when it starts breaking down. So Amsoil's an all-season oil, can give you better gas mileage, longer engine life, less maintenance. It ends up being cheaper over a year's time running Amsoil than it is petroleum oils.
That's amazing. That's amazing. And Amsoil is available for pretty much any motorized vehicle, anything from lawn equipment, cars, trucks, boats, ATVs, motorcycles, snowmobiles.
Yep. And a lot of people phone me up and say, well, what's the benefit of our gear lube? Exactly what I told you about the engine oil. It pours in cold weather, it runs cooler, makes the equipment last longer. And they say, well, what's the benefit of the small engine? Same thing. Makes the engine run cooler, last longer, better performance. So it saves on all the applications that Amsoil has available.
Wonderful, wonderful. So yeah, let's talk now. Hopefully this has convinced people to think about maybe joining us in the Amsoil experience. Let's talk about some of the discounts and free shipping and how that all happens. I'm going to pop a graphic on the screen. And yeah, by all means, if you want to talk people through how this preferred customer program works.
Amsoil has a number of different programs. One of our main ones is a catalog customer, where somebody can order directly out of our catalog. If they order out of the catalog, they order $100 worth, Amsoil will ship it right to their house. But our best program is our preferred customer. For only $10 for 6 months, you become a preferred customer, you save 25% on all the product. You order $100 worth, they're going to give you free shipping. You don't have to order a whole case. You can mix and match. Say you want 4 bottles of small engine, 7 bottles of 5W30, and a couple of gear loops. You can mix and match. You can order 1 bottle at a time if you want. There's no minimums, no maximums. By being a preferred customer, you save over 25% on all the products you're going to buy. Amsoil sends you extra gifts, a $5 gift certificate on your birthday, $5 when you renew your account and stuff like that. So it's a good way to save on some of the products you want to buy.
For sure. Yeah, it's an incredible value. And this is the deepest level of discount that anyone can get when ordering Amsoil. Is that correct?
It is.
Wonderful. So let's take people through the step-by-step experience of placing an Amsoil order. Then that would include signing up for the preferred customer preferred customer program, so they can receive those deepest levels of discount. So let's go to the website. This is what the website's going to look like. These are some screenshots. Once you go to amsoil.com, there's a link in the description, or you can just type that into a browser, amsoil.com. This is the page you land on. At the upper corner of the page there, you see how I've circled in red. That is the link to click, the Join Now link. That will take you to the Preferred Customer Program page, where you can take advantage of all of these discounts and free shipping and everything that we've just been talking about. This is what that page looks like. In the lower right, you're going to click Join Now. This will pop up. You select the duration you'd like, whether it's 6 months or 12 months, and click Add to Cart. Now, once this pop-up goes away, you'll be back on the main page. And the upper left, you'll see where I've got that red arrow. It says Shop. Now you can start shopping for products, and on your very first order, you're going to get these discounts and the free shipping as long as it's over $100. You'll get all of these benefits right away. So once you click Shop, it's going to take you to the product page. There's different types of oils, lubricants, so on and so forth. For the benefit of this exercise we're doing now, I'm just going to click motor oil. that shows different types of motor oil. Let's click gasoline. Now this takes us to an item. It's their synthetic motor oil. And you can see the item there, and there's choices for different viscosities. But take a look at the price. Let's take a closer look. Let's zoom in. But if you've joined the preferred customer program first, you're going to automatically get the deepest levels of discount. That's what we're looking at here. You're saving $3.80 on that quart of oil. Instead of paying $16.29, you're now paying $12.49 for that quart of oil. That is the deepest level of discount you can possibly get. And then you just add the quantity that you'd like. You select any other items that you're thinking about, add them to the cart. And once you click add to cart for the final time, you're going to see this come up at the top of the screen. It's going to show your items and your the total that you're at so far. Pardon me. And then you just click view cart in the upper right, and that'll take you to your cart. Take a close look here at the upper right. That blue box shows that you're getting free shipping. You're eligible for free shipping on this order because it's over $100. That little yellow box shows that you've got the preferred customer membership on your order that gives you the deepest levels of discounts for the next 6 to 12 months. And then below that, you've got the items that have been selected. For the exercise here, I selected 9 quarts of the signature series, but that brings us up over $100 for the free shipping. We're saving $34.20. And if you're ready to finish, you click checkout now, and that takes you to this screen here. If you haven't signed up with an Amsoil account at this point, just click in the lower right to create an account, create a new account. It's going to ask you for some basic information, name and those types of things. Now let's take a closer look. You'll see this gray shaded box. This is a very important box. This is going to ask you if someone has referred you to Amsoil. And if so, please enter my name. My name is Mike LaPierre. It's spelled right there on the screen for the correct spelling. And also the referral number, 304-555-94. That's how you make sure that Rob and I get credit for this. Now, in the interest of full disclosure, I have signed up for Amsoil under Rob. So when you order using this referral number, Rob and I both benefit. So if you enjoy these podcasts that we're doing, this is a wonderful way to support the podcast, because when you order using this referral number, Rob and I both benefit. And the commissions I make go directly toward offsetting the cost of doing these podcasts. So I thank you in advance for that, for using my referral number. I very much appreciate it. And once you've done that, you just go into the next screen to enter your payment information, and you're done. Now, once you've placed your order that's over $100, and that order includes your Amsoil preferred customer program, you are now eligible to get a free DVD from myself. Now, this is going to be either a muscle car DVD or a vintage snowmobile DVD. Use the email address on the screen, wkspodcasts@gmail.com. Send me an email. Let me know which DVD you would like me to send you, the muscle car or the vintage snowmobile DVD, and I'll get that right out to you. As you're typing in that email, in the subject line, be sure and type in capital letters free DVD requests, so it stands out as I'm checking my email, and we'll get that right out to you. So I guess the last thing, Rob, that we wanted to talk about is if someone is considering Amsoil as a business opportunity.
Yes. If anybody has a retail or a commercial account and they would like to buy directly from Amsoil, just send Mike a line. He'll show you how to set up, and you can buy directly from Amsoil. But if you are interested in starting your own part-time business, a part-time business that can grow into a full-time income, Mike and I will show you the Amsoil marketing plan. Amsoil has a large selection of products that cover almost every application. So it doesn't matter if you're into snowmobile, boating, or ATVing, or hot rods. We have an oil for every application. It's a fun type business that's I really enjoy doing. Where else can I go and have fun and make money doing it? And Mike and I are here to help you all the way along. If you need any help on how to promote or to find new accounts, we're here to help you.
For sure. So when you sign up under that number, this 304-555-94, you're getting Rob and I as a team. Now, Rob has been doing Amsoil for 40 years. Can you believe that? 40 years. So he knows every aspect of this business, and he knows all of the ins and outs of the products. So he'll be able to help you with any kind of product questions or any kind of questions to show you the different business models that you can do with Amsoil. And then the other thing that you get when you sign up under me is I've got a strong background in social media. So if you need some coaching on how to generate Amsoil leads using Facebook and YouTube, I'm happy to coach you with that when you sign up under Rob and I. You get both of us as a team to help you, to coach you, to support you, whatever you need to get you off and running with this business and having fun with it. Like Rob said, it's an enormous amount of fun. If you're like Rob and I and you enjoy going to any kind of boat shows, car shows, motorcycle shows, snowmobile shows, anything with a motor, you like going to those shows, those events, those races, this is a great way to turn that into a income opportunity for you.
Yes. And just by wearing my Amsoil hat at one of these events, people come up and ask me about Amsoil. People don't know where to buy it, and I'm there to help them, show them where they can buy the product.
Perfect. Well, cool. Well, this is great. Any final thoughts, Rob, before we wrap it up?
Amsoil's a fun business. Amsoil's been around since 1968. It was the first synthetic oil to be AI approved.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing. And that's very early in the game too, isn't it?
Yes.
For sure. Well, good. Well, thank you so much, everyone, for viewing. Hopefully, we've gotten you excited as we are about the Amsoil products. We'd love it if you could join us either as someone who uses the Amsoil products or to join the Amsoil team as a business opportunity. And we thank you so much for viewing. Have a great day.
You have a good day.